Humanoid robots have fascinated us for decades, blending the lines between science fiction and reality. These machines are designed to resemble and mimic human actions, making them highly versatile in various applications. From assisting in daily chores to complex industrial tasks, humanoid robots are becoming an integral part of our future. On the way to meet a robot in Hannover, Germany, on a bright spring morning, we have been invited to see the G1, a humanoid robot built by Chinese firm Unitree, at the Hannover Messe, one of the world's largest industrial trade shows. Standing at about 4 feet 3 inches, G1 is smaller and more affordable than other humanoid robots on the market, and has such a highly fluid range of motion and dexterity that videos of it performing dance numbers and martial arts have gone viral. Today, the G1 is being controlled remotely by Pedro Zheng, the Unitree sales manager. He explains that customers must program each G1 for autonomous functions. Passers-by stop and actively try to engage with the G1, which cannot be said for a lot of the other machines being shown off in the cavernous conference room. They reach out to shake its hand, make sudden movements to see if it will respond. They laugh when G1 waves or bends backwards. They apologize if they bump into it. There's something about its human shape that, uncanny as it is, sets people at ease. Unitree is just one of dozens of companies around the world developing robots that have a human form. The potential is huge. For business, it promises a workforce that doesn't need holidays or pay rises. It could also be the ultimate domestic appliance. After all, who wouldn't want a machine that could do the laundry and stack the dishwasher? But the technology is still some way off. While robotic arms and mobile robots have been common in factories and warehouses for decades, conditions in those workplaces can be controlled, and workers can be kept safe. Introducing a humanoid robot to a less predictable environment like a restaurant or a home is a much more difficult problem. To be useful, humanoid robots would have to be strong, but that also makes them potentially dangerous. Simply falling over at the wrong time could be hazardous. So much work needs to be done on the artificial intelligence that would control such a machine. The AI simply has not yet reached a breakthrough moment, a Unitree spokesperson tells the media. Today's robot AI finds basic logic and reasoning, such as for understanding and completing complex tasks in a logical way. A challenge, they said. Market and competition are crucial aspects in the development of humanoid robots. Various companies are racing to innovate and capture market share in this rapidly evolving field. At the moment, their G1 is marketed at research institutions and tech companies. These institutions can use Unitree's open-source software for development. For now, entrepreneurs are focusing their efforts on humanoid robots for warehouses and factories. The highest profile of those is Elon Musk. His car company, Tesla, is developing a humanoid robot called Optimus. In January, he said that several thousand will be built this year, and he expects them to be doing useful things in Tesla factories. Other car makers are following a similar path. BMW recently introduced humanoid robots to a US factory. Meanwhile, South Korean car firm Hyundai has ordered tens of thousands of robots from BostonDynamics, the robot firm it bought in 2021. Thomas Anderson, founder of research firm Stick, tracks 49 companies developing humanoid robots, those with 2 arms and legs. If you broaden the definition to robots with 2 arms, but propel themselves on wheels, then he looks at more than 100 firms. Mr. Anderson thinks that Chinese companies are likely to dominate the market. The supply chain and the entire ecosystem for robotics is huge in China, and it's really easy to iterate developments and do R&D, research and development, he says. Unitree underlines that advantage. Its G1 is cheap for a robot, with an advertised price of $16,000, £12,500. Also, Mr. Anderson points out, the investment favors Asian nations. In a recent report, STQ notes that almost 60% of all funding for humanoid robots has been raised in Asia, with the US attracting most of the rest. Chinese companies have the added benefit of support from the national and local government. For example, in Shanghai there is a state-backed training facility for robots, where dozens of humanoid robots are learning to complete tasks. Alright, let's talk about the competition and what the future holds for humanoid robots. So how can US and European robot makers compete with that? Bristol-based Bren Pierce has founded 3 robotics companies, and the latest, Kinisi, has just launched the KR-1 robot. While the robot has been designed and developed in the UK, it will be manufactured in Asia. Bren Pierce: the problem you get as a European or American company, you have to buy all these subcomponents from China in the first place. So, then it becomes stupid to buy your motors, buy your batteries, buy your resistors, shift them all halfway around the world to put together when you could just put them all together at the source, which is in Asia. As well as making his robots in Asia, Mr. Pierce is keeping costs down by not going for the full humanoid form. Designed for warehouses and factories, the KR-1 does not have legs. Bren Pierce: all of these places have flat floors. Why would you want the added expense of a very complex form factor when you could just put it on a mobile base? He asks. Where possible, his KR-1 is built with mass-produced components. The wheels are the same as you would find on an electric scooter. Motors, batteries, computers, cameras, they're all commercially available mass-produced parts, he says. Like his competitors at Unitree, Mr. Pierce says that the real secret sauce is the software that allows the robot to work with humans. A lot of companies come out with very high-tech robots, but then you start needing a PhD in robotics to be able to actually install it and use it. What we're trying to design is a very simple-to-use robot where your average warehouse or factory worker can actually learn how to use it in a couple of hours, Mr. Pierce says. He says the KR-1 can perform a task after being guided through it by a human 20 or 30 times. The KR-1 will be given to pilot customers to test this year. So, will robots ever break out of factories into the home? Alright, that's all for this one. I really hope you picked up something interesting. If you did, hitting that subscribe button would be fantastic. Give it a like and share the knowledge. I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments below.